Hey Spuddies, Potato McWhiskey here, and I'm here to feed my Terra Invicta addiction, dude. Oh my lord, look at this galaxy. We are building a Dyson sphere. I really do think I should maybe consider taking a little bit more time. Now when I say Dyson sphere, really it's more like a Mercury sphere because I'm only building it around Mercury. But I really do think that I should maybe spend a little bit more time controlling more countries because I have so much spare political. I think if you're under your cap, you should get like a bonus to income or something. You should get some kind of bonus for being under your cap, in my opinion. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be massive. It just has to be a little bonus. Yeah, I'm going to start. I think my next base of power is going to be Africa. I think I'm going to try to take control of Africa, unify it, unite it, turn it into a powerhouse because Africa has a massive population. So like +1 GDP is like a couple billion. You know what I mean? Like +$1 of GDP in Africa, it like literally changes the lives of like 500 million people. So I think that's the plan here. One problem I'm running into is unrest inside the European Union has been increasing again. Let's go ahead and stabilize it. We're going to be dealing with unrest and a lack of cohesion, basically the entire name with this Giga Nation. That's just something we're going to have to live with. That's just par for the course. I wanted to bring Georgia in. Let me have a look. Can I crack Georgia with a full send? I can. 90% chance of cracking Georgia. Let's make sure we keep our interests defended in Africa. We need to get this insurgency down. So I think the high unrest is being fed by the relatively low cohesion, although cohesion is ticking up to 5.8. So if we just buy time, we will get there. The low quality of life is a problem. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of direct investing here into the economy. So I'll put 10 points into economy and then I will confirm that. And that should boost the GDP by about $50 per capita. Yeah, nice. That'll help. That'll slowly help recover the country. But I want to avoid doing that too much until I have unified this into one country, because spending is more efficient in big countries. Like if I were to do the same direct investment into the European Union, it would be worth 18 GDP. And I may actually start doing that because I do have an excess of influence and stuff like that. So I'm going to spend about 25 points directly investing into the European Union. So 25 times 18, we should see a relatively large GDP increase. Yeah, nearly $250 billion it was looking like. Yeah, fourth of a trillion it went up there. And hopefully by increasing the quality of life, we'll start to lower the unrest, and hopefully increasing the cohesion and technology level of the country will push us into the right direction there. Okay, so it looks like I tried to put another station above Earth, and it looks like the aliens are just not allowing me to have bases above Earth. It seems that they're doing retribution against my stations above Earth. Yeah, okay, so they're just gonna blow up my stations from now on. That's fine. That's okay. I have Mercury, and I don't think I see any aliens nearby. The big thing I also need to get control of is Jupiter and Mars. Not so much Venus. Venus is kind of secondary to these things. But that's kind of annoying. I can't have stations above Earth anymore, so I'm going to have to... Oh, there's Kessler syndrome. So low Earth orbit is increasingly becoming saturated with debris. Primary couple is space battles, warships, civilian strikes alike. Operations in medium orbit and beyond should remain mostly unaffected. Low Earth orbit is now a very dangerous place for ships, HABs, and satellites. So debris in all low Earth orbits will increase by 10. Human factions will have their mission control income reduced by 10% for 6 months. The Protectorate will get an opinion boost, and the economy effect on GDP per capita is reduced by 8%. So we're now suffering from Kessler syndrome. This is what I talked about. We have to figure out how to get rid of all that debris. It's just way too much debris in low Earth orbit. Nice. We have just researched the farm project. This is a more advanced version of the hydroponics bay. And what's really nice about this is that it actually supports up to 250 crew. I may go back now and redo. Oh yeah, we're suffering a bit of mission problems here. I may go back and start to build farms on some of my planets because they're actually relatively cheap to support. Like if I go to my Luna bases, for example, this base has 96 crew, and if I were to build a farm, that would fully support their crew, significantly lowering the upkeep. I don't understand how much of a farm is like, I don't understand how much of these resources a crew is eating. So what might be a good idea is if I have 2 lunar bases that are the exact same, which I'm going to do now. This is how we'll test it. I'll found a second lunar base, or a third lunar base. I think first I have to pick a technology. Let's have a look. Let's research larger ships. That might be helpful in fighting the aliens. But I think, why can't I find a base here? Because I don't have mission control income. Okay, well, let me see. Do I have any stations somewhere? Maybe Mars is a better example. So let's look at Huxley base here. Huxley has 100 crew. The farm will use 40 energy. So let's build a farm like so. And then we'll want, I think, 3 solar arrays to power it. 14, 28, yeah, 3. No, we need a fission pile. Let's get a fission reactor array, okay? We'll build this in space, and then I'm going to go ahead and find a base that's exactly the same, and then I'm just going to build the fission reactor array on it, and then we'll be able to compare the upkeep costs of these two bases to see if it's worth it to build hydroponics. It's kind of a way, we're basically doing like A/B testing, right? We're doing a little bit of science. China has declared war on Biafra. Who the hell is Biafra? Oh, that's a protectorate place. Oh, it's a place that just like declared independence. India and Ethiopia have ended their war. I need to get Russia out of that war, actually. That's going to be what I do next turn. Sudden flowering. Rostov-on-Don is seeing an explosion in alien life forms. Nothing we can do. Dispatch teams or arrange for our researchers to have full access to the site. So I'd gain 300 orange growth. I think I'll pay influence to get a bit of science. Science is kind of hard. Like, science is always good to get more. It can be tough to get science. All right, let's set a national policy in Russia. I think I have 2 agents working on lowering unrest in the European Union, and we do need to get that lower. So we'll bring unrest in the European low, and then we'll try and get a purge off in Georgia, and hopefully that'll work. Oh dear, there's an alien fleet above Phobos now. Okay, are they going to try and blow up my Phobos base? Ah, god damn it, so they did a coup in the Ivory Coast. That's unfortunate. Nice. European Union now has 0 unrest. Okay, yeah, they're bombarding our base in Phobos, which is annoying. Do I have a dockyard around Mars? No, it's still under construction. I'll have to wait. Yep, they're blowing up that station. Oh my god, they got a coup off the East African Federation as well? It's gotta be very hard. Very hard. Okay, we lost contact with the people on Phobos. Alright, let's start building ships above Mars, because that was a lot of our income there that just got obliterated. Really not good. So high Mars orbit. I'm going to build a few Huygens class escort ships. If I can get 4 of them. I don't know if I'll be able to actually really fight much off, but they will be ships that can fight. So you could federate with the European Union, or you could seek peace with Ethiopia. So let's get peace with Ethiopia. I don't understand why other people get to act first in this. I don't know what affects initiative when it comes to taking over Georgia, because I keep getting sniped on Georgia. All right, let's try to do a counter coup. Do we want the Eurasian Union to federate? Yeah, sure. Let's federate. Let's do it. Nice. We've landed on Mercury. Our big problem is going to be a lack of volatiles and stuff like that, which means I need a lot more mission control so I can set up bases on Jupiter. All our settlements on Mercury just came online, huge, and our space stations are started to get bombed. So we could do European decolonization, which honestly wouldn't be a bad move here. Being able to decolonize and create the, because these are colonial regions, which means they're not really good for us. Might be good to release Kurdistan as well, because this counts as a colonial region. And colonial regions, they give less to national GDP and they can't support armies, and they are lost. So maybe if I released Kurdistan, that might be better. It might be a good idea to just release these little countries, because we don't need them inside our thing. I'd be happy for them to be inside the Pacific States, in all honesty. It would make this Pacific States more powerful, more interesting, and then we could kind of focus on unifying Europe. Here, let me have a look at this. It's very cheap, and it might allow us to make Europe more unified. All right, we managed to coup back the Ivory Coast, which is good. That's going to basically reset our federation status there, though. You go ahead and seek federation with the European Union. Perfect. We lost our dockyard around Luna. That's annoying because we were building fleets there, I'm pretty sure. Yep, we were building fleets there. That's really annoying that there's not a way to really defend against that, but fine. It would really make me happy if I could resettle Phobos, because I'm going to start running into volatiles issues. Okay, so we've researched patrol vessels. This will give us access to 8-inch and 12-inch cannons, as well as the frigate, monitor, and destroyer. So if we're going to design some ship classes now, let's take a look around. The frigate is significantly bigger. What if we were to do this as a space superiority fighter? Not bad. Still only a combat strength of 20, though. What's the price? Very expensive. 151 propellant tanks to get a Delta V. We need better propulsion, I think. What we really need. This guy has 32 combat strength. It has multiple crate missile bays, 30mm autocannons. And then the destroyer, if I auto-design that, this is a 25 combat strength. So we're starting to get more powerful stuff. Ooh, I could put the 12-inch cannon. Instead of 2 10-inch cannons, we could put a 12-inch cannon on the nose. Yeah, these are expensive. I'm going to need a lot more volatiles. I may have to start building farms just so I stop using so much volatiles to support my habs. I wish I could see a breakdown of my volatiles income rather than just like, oh, you have a surplus. You know, because it would be nice to be able to tell, oh, this all my upkeep is like I'm using 1,000 volatiles a month in upkeep or whatever. So I think I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try to release any colonial holdings I have. So I think I'm going to release Kurdistan, because I wonder if colonies reduce your cohesion more than other types of locations. Low Earth Orbit 1. Alien fleets are arriving. We do now have access to magazines, so we'll be able to equip more weapons. Laser point defense, let's grab those. Oh, actually, let's do European decolonization. So let's have a look. Caribbean states. I think I would like to try to get control of the Caribbean states before I decolonize Europe. We need to bring this unrest score down. Who are your allies? You're allied with the USA. I think what I might do... I was going to say I could go to war, but I don't think I should do that. So there's European decolonization, and now we can get back to work on building up our military capabilities in space. Apparently we can federate with the Pacific states. That's a bit of an interesting one. We're going to grant independence to Kurdistan. I do not see Kurdistan on this list. Am I dumb? Yeah, Kurdistan does have a claim here. I don't know why I can't release them. So we now have access to the solid core fission reactor 2, and this will start pushing us towards more fission reactors. I think it's time, but we need to knock out all these really, really cheap techs, all these 500 costs. We just need to knock them out, get them off our list so we can maybe start unlocking the follow-up projects that are a little bit more. Somebody stole my farm tech. Somebody's stealing all my research. Damn you. Nice, we managed to pull off a coup in the Caribbean states. That's good. So we can start to stabilize them. I'm going to do something interesting in the Caribbean states. Rather than focus on like, oh, let's make sure the nation is stable, I'm going to focus on like building the nation up. So I'm going to focus on welfare, I'm going to focus on the economy, I'm going to focus on knowledge, and I'm just going to try to slowly build this country up. And I don't care if it gets flipped away from me, I'm just going to constantly fight and try to rebuild these countries. So there's Molten Core Fission Reactor 1. This gives us access to the Lars drive. And so that's why I'm knocking out all these cheap techs, because they kind of lead to potential techs down the road. And it might mean that I find an engine or something that will have impacts on my ships. Like, for example, if we come over here to our power plants, we now have the Solid Core Fission Reactor 2 compared to the first one. This one is lighter, it produces more stuff per gigawatt, and it's more efficient. It uses less resources per gigawatt required. I think we need to get some proper space weapons designed. I think that's something we're lacking. Nice, we've completed the shipyard. This will give us access to a tier 2 ship. This tier 2 shipyard that should be able to build ships faster and more effectively. So we're in a kind of experimental phase. New orbital cores completed around Mercury. Beautiful. All those HAB modules are starting to come online. And what I'm going to try to do is try to decolonize Europe. Just a little bit. Oh, nice. We arrested a resistance agent. Awesome. So I'm going to try to like decolonize a little bit in the hope that this will bring up the unity, the cohesion in Europe. It actually worked. Liberating those nations brought our cohesion rest value up to 2.6. So I think I need to like get rid of my colonial regions that we don't have claims on. So I think decolonization increases the stability of your country. So I think, let's see, the Pacific states. So I need to get control of the Pacific states, and then I need to cede territory to them so that I can stabilize Europe better. Because now I think unrest is resting at a lower level. And sure enough, we just lost like a huge amount of our boost because it was all contained over here in Georgetown. But I don't care about that. It's all resting in this country now, and I have control of this country. And now these are core integral states inside of here that will help this country develop, because the GDP in here just shot up. That's fantastic, actually. So point defense laser turrets have been researched. That should help us defend against missiles. Now we have access to the ion drive. That's a step forward in terms of propulsion technology. I'm just trying to get all of these like backlog techs researched in the hopes that maybe it'll help me design a ship that'll actually be able to fight. So all of the mining stations on Mercury just came online. That's a big deal. So yeah, I want to launch a coup in the Pacific states so that I can take control of it and then liberate my my holdings to them, because I still have a couple of like this like holding right here, and that will hopefully bring cohesion up in the European Union, which means I don't have to invest into unity quite so much. In fact, I can probably start cutting back on my unity investment a little. I am, however, going to have to start upgrading the amount I invest into spoils, because I'm burning a lot of cash with my space economy. So spoils is now kind of a little bit more necessary for me. I think about 7% should keep our stockpile of cash from going down too quickly. So if we start comparing the solid core fission reactor to the molten core fission reactor, the molten core fission reactor has an 85% efficiency. It only outputs 1 gigawatt though, compared to the 6 gigawatts, but it also only takes 3 tons per gigawatt. That would mean we would want a really, really good battery here. Although having said that, now this ship, it would be much cheaper. It would be more expensive in terms of water. And I think that might be due to the fact that we're using I'm not sure why the water is so expensive. But yeah, we need to get those costs down. And so more advanced ship types are going to be the goal here. I think we're going to get started on researching their demands as we continue to finish out some of these projects. I want to know what their demands are so I can figure out if maybe that'll figure into my gameplay at all. Okay, so let's say I shut down both of these mining complexes. And I can see now that Huxley base with a farm, there's got to be a better way. Let me see. Yeah, so I could see this station. What if I unpause for a day? Okay, there's the hall drive. I'm getting distracted by things. I'm trying to figure things out. Hang on. Right, get the Nerva drive. That's a potential next step. So I want to disable the mining thing. Let's say I re-enable this. Honestly, it doesn't. Like, I think maybe. How do I tell? How do I get these numbers to update? I have this disabled, but it's still showing that this is outputting when I have it turned off. I need to like take a screenshot of this. Hold on. So yes, in fact, these farms, they essentially erase these upkeeps on your station. If I shut this down, look at that. Yeah, look at that. If I shut down the farm and turn it on, now here's a question. Let's say I turn on this, and then if I shut down the farm, oh my God, farms increase your output in space. Okay, I need to get more farms. I need more farms to fuel my crew. So farms are actually a big leap forward for me. How many well, I need to actually double check something. How many construction piles do I have on Mars? Not nearly enough. So here's a good way for us to figure this out, actually. If we look at the monthly support costs of an operations center, it's 1.5 for 50 crew, which means every crew member is eating 0.1 or whatever. And then if we find a place with 10 crew, yeah, so farms, I think farms are absolutely worth it to build on every station to reduce upkeep. So I'm just going to spam them out everywhere. Fission reactor arrays and farms all over Mars. I never upgraded this core. Whoops. I'm going to add I'm going to replace one of these operation centers with a farm. So let's throw down, I think on all my Mercury bases as well, I'm going to throw down another solar array and then a pair of farms to supply these guys. Because they have a decent amount of crew. So they'll need 2 farms to supply them. Because each farm can supply 250 people. This will actually have the added benefit of also increasing the population on Mercury. I think the population on Mercury is starting to get relatively high. Like, we have a serious operation on Mercury. So I went through and I modified every single base on Mercury to have 2 farms and I think it's 7 operation centers with 2 solar arrays. And that should fully cover the cost, provide some surplus mission control and a ton of extra metals and rares. Once I have those mission controls, I'll be able to actually start building bases around Jupiter as well. Very, very cool. I don't think there's any more. Are there any more open plots on Mars? There's a couple of plots open on Mars. We could do similar things there. Let's start trying to detain enemy counselors. This is a great way to interrogate them and disrupt their missions. Because there's people operating against me and I want to be like, hey, listen, if you act against me, I will defend myself. I think I've allowed myself to be a target too much now for a while. I need to deal with the xenoforming in Europe. Can I get you to attack the xenoform? I'm gonna have the Russian army try to deal with those xenoforming. And we did manage to jail that counselor, so she'll be stuck there for a very long time. She will be inactive until July. So that's like a full turn cycle or 2. Low lunar orbit fleet. I think they might be looking to blow up my lunar bases. Yep. So I think what they're doing right now is what we would consider to be retaliation. They're not actually... They haven't fully declared war on me. They're just retaliating against my assets to kind of knock me back down on a peg. Oh, I don't want him to be an addict or indulgent. I'll let him shift his personality. Currently, he has the Pollyanna. So he has a positive outlook on events. So we'll see how his personality shifts now. So he started to produce ships. We've got a couple now in high Mars orbit. These will hopefully be able to start to defend us. There's not a lot of them, but we are building them. Let me double check that ship construction. We've got another 3 on the way. Let's modify this dockyard. We're going to upgrade it to an orbital core and hopefully be able to turn this into a bigger and more effective dockyard that can crank out ships. Yeah, they're blowing up our lunar bases. Let's cede territory to the Pacific states. And now my hope is that getting rid of even more of our colonial holdings. So if we take a look, the Pacific states has Noumea, and that's it really. But right now our cohesion is resting at 2.7. If I release the Pacific states, boom, we lose a piece of territory, but cohesion jumps back up to 3.8. Okay, so I do really feel like getting rid of colonial regions really, really helps. So we need to get that cohesion to start resting around 5, and then I'll start feeling comfortable to turn off the unity priority. I probably always want to have a little bit of unity because it does give you popular support. But in all honesty, like, these Pacific state territories just really weren't that big of a deal. I think it would be good if we could get Indonesia to release BIAC to the Pacific states as well to allow us to have control here. Now, kind of similar to our other areas, our goal is to try to build these regions up into something reasonable. So we're going to just focus on trying to develop these territories. Screw the spoils, I don't care about that. If people want to try to coup me, I'll just coup it back and take control again. Yeah, bases are getting obliterated. Feels bad, man. So hopefully by the end of July, we will have all of that mission control we need. Oh, brilliant. We've targeted an alien operative. We're going to try and take him out. Xenoform Alpha 16. Brilliant. So I think we have good ID here. Let's keep avoiding the hurricanes. We want to spend the money Low Mars orbit. Okay, so they're starting to bombard Mars. Let's have a look here. This is a Flower class destroyer. Sea Flower. So they have the advanced alien mag cannon, which can bombard. What is the combat strength of this thing? 191. I would need much, much stronger ships than what I'm building right now to defend this. Yep. They're taking out my bases on Mars. Now, hopefully they don't take out the whole base. Like, I'm okay with if they take out an occasional base on Mars, I can just try to rebuild. But if they completely wipe me out on Mars, that's not good. So you gained the Nerva drive technology. I don't know if that's better, but it's a step in the right direction, the more drives we research. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. The aliens really think I'm a threat, so that explains why they're being so aggressive. Okay, so I guess I had a misread on the threat level that I thought they had me at. That's okay. I expect to be, you know, step back a little bit. I think the main thing is we need to start. I want to do destroyer or monitor. Let's do some auto design exploration here. So I might build some monitors here. At the very least, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the construction of a single monitor around Mercury, because that's going to be one of the most important places that I defend. So having a fleet there would be useful. This will be the Sagan class monitor. This will be a Sagan Mark 1. I'm going to start building one of those in low Mercury orbit. It'll take 131 days. That's fine. I'm also going to go to my low Mercury orbit. Which one is the one that's building? You. I want to upgrade you to an orbital core, and then I want to start upgrading you into a thingy. I think I had one in medium orbit as well, actually. Yeah, okay. Maybe we could do a couple of shipyards. A couple of my HABs on Mars have been upgraded, and I think it is worthwhile, even if we've been getting targeted, to get those online. Why is this saying there's insufficient power? Huh? Everything is powered. Right, so let's go ahead and upgrade to fission reactor arrays. 2 fission reactor arrays. We'll also upgrade the settlement mining complex here, and then we're going to add a farm. And then that's basically the core of these new Martian bases. Is 2 fission reactor arrays. I'm going to be a little bit more willing to spend fissiles, I think. So mining station, 2 fissiles, and a farm. What are you? You're being upgraded. You're fine. You're building. We're getting farms everywhere. Very sad. Did both of my bases on Luna get taken out? Yeah, they've completely wiped me off Luna. It's okay. I will get a ton of mission control here in a moment. More alien fleets are floating around Earth, which I really don't like. We're also burning 11,000 a day, a year. Upper Guinea has been flipped. That's okay. I think I'm going to let this federation kind of crumble a little bit. I'm going to focus on unifying the East African Federation. I think I'm a little bit stretched too thin. Medium Mercury orbit. Very nice. So what was this? Construction module. Okay, so we're getting things online there. Oh, there it is. There's all that mission control available. And now we're burning 18k per year. So I think there's still a significant amount of stuff around Mercury that we need to handle. Now we're burning a lot of volatile, so we're going to have to deal with that problem too. And I think that's going to involve retooling some of these Mercury stations. So like if we look, there's 500 crew here. We could very easily replace 2 of these operation centers with farms. And then we're good. Because we're just burning way too many resources. So I'm going to replace you with a farm, and you with a farm. Yes, I lose a little bit of operations income, but I think that trade-off is really, really worth it because I gain back 15 volatiles and water per month for a very, very small expenditure. So I went through and I modified every single one of these stations around Mercury to now have 8 mission controls and 2 farms, and I think the Mercury Dyson sphere is going to continue to get expanded. We have another 16 orbitals that we need to fill with stations. But I also need to increase my income around Jupiter. So I think this Jupiter station out here is going to get upgraded into an orbital core. I think we'll avoid Ganymede for now. And instead, I'm going to set up 4, maybe 5 settlements around Callisto, purely to be able to get like a little bit of these volatiles and a little bit of this water, and then also these fissiles, because I'm a little bit low on fissiles, so I'm just going to grab all these. A trickle of fissiles from multiple sources can become a torrent. Many small streams make giant rivers. Let's steal an org from the aliens. Let's target them with a hostile takeover, right? That seems like a fun little mission to do. Sabotage the Alliance, because they already consider me to be like a giga threat. All right, nice. We've able to research the grid drive rather. So what is this? This uses noble gases. It uses less water. Look at that. It's only 9 water per tank. That's a significant reduction in the weight of our vessels. The thrust seems quite good. The exhaust velocity seems good. 95% power efficient. This might be a big step forward for us in propulsion technology. So let's see. We could steal from the aliens. We could steal the IMF. I am 100% stealing the IMF. Do you know how long I searched for the IMF? Yoink. So let's have a look at what upgrades we could do. What happens if I click the auto designer? I kind of wish I could like I wish it would show me 2 proposals. So the ion drive, it looks like cruise acceleration would go down, but you would use molten core fission. Why wouldn't you use multiple thrusters? To be honest with you, it really doesn't increase the cost of the ship that much, but it significantly increases the cruise and combat acceleration. Right, so what if we put a 3rd level solid core fusion reactor on this? What is the difference? I think that would lower the tonnage actually. Do we want to give it a Nerva drive? I really need the ability to compare 2 modules rather than having to click between them. So this has way higher thrust, but way lower power efficiency and way lower exhaust velocity. And it uses water instead of volatiles. So I don't think we have enough tech to consider upgrading the Sagan class yet, but we will look towards upgrading the Sagan class patrol vehicle. Let me have a look at what I'm currently building. So I am building some Huygens class. Let's have a look. Can we maybe upgrade that? No, I had a look at it and it didn't seem like I had any real new tech for it. We'll slowly work on that. That'll take some time. Yep, they're going to bomb more of my Martian bases. I'll just have to rebuild them. Don't worry about that. We have a huge stack of resources in the bank. So now we can undertake cybernetics implants. Interesting. So let's have a look at that. Scrambler intelligence. So we definitely want to do this because this will be an upgrade to our agents. They're blowing up our base. I really need to get something that can defend my bases. Let's try to rebuild Olympus Mons, I think. We need those fissiles because that was like most of our fissile income. So let's try to refound on Mars. We're going to be kind of jerks and just immediately rebuild. I mean, this does put me down. Like, they're achieving their goal, which is slowing me down and hurting me. But they won't be able to completely stop me, I think, until they feel it's necessary to declare, like, all-out war. I'm just going to keep stealing organizations from the aliens. Fuck them, okay? You know what? They've been jerks this entire game. Public opinion in the European Union is going down. I don't like that. Let's try to keep that above 75% appeal, because I think that actually does factor into your national cohesion. We do have inequality down to like a really low level, which I think is helping keep our cohesion high. I think that means we could maybe back off the welfare spending priority a little bit and then go on to funding spending priority a little bit so we can increase the amount of funding we're getting. The big thing I need to do is to make money. I'm struggling to make money. We have 3,000 people around Mercury. Almost no one around Venus. What's the population of Mars? Only 1,635. Yeah, Mercury is currently the most colonized planet. I guess colonization, I think, refers to like taking over existing things. So maybe it would be settling rather than colonization. The actual use of the word settling rather than, you know, because colonization usually involves, oh, there's people already here. Like the aliens are colonizing us. We're already here, man. You can't just take our shit. I'm pretty sure that's how that word is used. Listen, I don't know shit. Listen, why are you guys listening to me to know stuff? I don't know things. Okay, I speculate about everything. Ooh, we could yoink CERN. That'd actually be a big boost. What I might need is actually just cash flow. Let me see here. If I grabbed CERN, that would be +2 science and 10% energy research. It's not bad. The Mirac Fund, this would increase welfare. Dude, I'm actually having so much fun stealing from the aliens. This is great. I'm gonna steal CERN. Yoink. I always knew CERN would join with the aliens. I knew they would. Time to found as many orbitals as I can around Mercury. Dude, Operation Dyson Sphere Mercury is a go. That's it. We've completely filled Mercury. And then we get to do the fun thing again where we build all these bases. I think I'm going to do the fast way to build them. So, welcome to Mercury. There's a lot of stations around Mercury, dude. But I think the population of Mercury should jump up now. Or you might actually have to finish the stations before the population jumps up. But we have completely coded Mercury in bases, in orbits. There's like 2 more orbits that I might set up as like dockyards or something. But I also think we should maybe look to stuff like Juno or just any of these like reasonably good asteroids. I totally forgot that I had bases on Ceres that have just been sitting here. Let's get them upgraded to cores. We almost have unrest down to nothing here. What's the chance for a coup? Yeah, fairly low. They're going to have really high skill or have good stuff because the national cohesion, the size of the national thingy. Control points are defended. The elites are dissatisfied, but not that much. So how long do we have to hold stable now? Another 70 days and we'll be able to merge at least a couple of these countries in. Maybe all 3. So just a few more turns and we can start making the East African Federation like into a country. I think the aliens are going to blow up one of my bases here. Somehow I think this little mining base here won't last very long. It was a great base. I'm going to have to rebuild it. Yep, this is why we need point defense. We need missiles that can defend our bases. Okay, so we've completed their demands. Thanks to our efforts both in translation and limited recreation of their ferrocite-based communication, the Hydra have shown some willingness to not only engage with us, but also to simplify their complex tongue for our sake. Their latest and clearest response brings good news. They do not intend to simply destroy humanity. They stipulate a degree of subjugation far beyond our expectations, and that is the bad part. So we've translated their demands. We've translated calling it a statement is unfortunately inaccurate. Humanity is to cease all military operations against Hydra forces and place all forces under the command of Hydra-appointed representatives. Humanity is to commit to building no space fleet, weapons of mass destruction, or any other military assets that could present a threat to the Hydra race. Any such weapons in existence must be turned over to Hydra-appointed authorities. Humans will commit to supporting the Hydra race in any and all future endeavors like military conflicts. A standing human force will be raised and trained to serve under Hydra handlers in future operations. To ensure that points 2 and 3 are carried out, orbital weapons platforms will be placed in low Earth orbit, carrying sufficient firepower to suppress any possible human resistance. These weapon platforms... Ooh. So they want to make us their subject. They want to put us under lock and key and prevent any independent thought or movement. Well, feck that. Hell no. We're not letting you build orbital bombardment platforms around our planet. Get the hell out of here. Scale that back. So the aliens torpedoed my base here, which I'm upset about. Unfortunately, that will require a relaunch. I do have the boost to do this though. So a whole bunch of farms just got finished. We're still burning a lot of volatiles. That's partially because our income is getting tanked. Hopefully in the near future that will get better. We do have some boost banked that can make up for any deficits if it happens. Really, really, really nice. Unrest in the European Union is being kept low. The GDP is continuing to increase. We're up to 30 billion. Our tech level is increasing. I think we should now start investing a little bit into our military. I think we can cut back on welfare for military spending. I said the meme. So does that mean the aliens are going to start trying to build weapons platforms around Earth? Okay, they've got a pretty strong fleet here, a regular fleet here. I think I need to blow up an alien asset. I think that's got to be my main objective now. Build a fleet and blow up some aliens. I need to show them what for. So Alien Fleet has launched a fleet targeting Alpha 2. Intercepting Alpha 2. The hell does that mean? Oh, that's my Mars fleet. Okay, what is this? This is a Silver Mountain, a space superiority ship. Yeah, it looks like they're getting ready for a battle. We're going to have our very first space battle above Mars, which we are not ready for. There's not really much I can do about it, to be honest. Yeah, they see that I'm building shipyards here and they're coming to try and stop me. Unfortunately, that station is just going to go kaput. Target in a secure location. So we have a ton of spare mission control, which I'm kind of okay with having a little bit of spare mission control because that does translate into a bit of cash flow. I can't really build around Earth, can I? No, I don't think so. I'm trying to think, what should I do now? I'm kind of at a loss. I'm building shipyards. I'm building shipyards around stations. I think I need to find a... So that's a shipyard right there. What are you? Shipyard, farm, shipyard. Okay, so I do have shipyards under construction. The Elizabeth Sea Station. Oh, fuck. They're going after Oklo now as well. Question, does Oklo have a construction module? No. Well, wait. If I turn it on, I can. So I might be able to quickly yeet out a orbital base here before they blow it up. Although, who knows? They could blow that up too. We'll find out if this is like a little cute exploit you could do, is where you build a thing the second that they plan to destroy it. Would save me having to resend that. Yeah, they're bombarding. Joy. So now I have access to marine platoons. Supports a counselor. So that I don't think this actually defends against bombardment. But having things like marine assault units and marines will mean we'll start moving in the direction of being actually able to militarize space. We just finished Missile Warfare Doctrine. This is going to give us access to a whole bunch of new types of missiles. I wonder, if you have an agent captured, does that make them easier to assassinate? Oh, it does. Interesting. Very, very, very cool. Does he have any good orgs, I wonder? Not really, I kind of looked through them. There's like a few here that are decent. I don't understand why the Resistance is targeting me, because I would have thought they would be fairly chill with me, because our objectives, well, they don't like perfectly align, but they're like within reasonable bounds of each other. Ooh, transnational investments. This would reduce the money cost of direct investment by 15%. That could be really, really good. Anaconda missile bays, Cobra missile bays. So now we're starting to get new weapons technology. That's huge. Series is starting to come online. Institutional bastions, hostile takeover. Increases our capacity. I honestly, I don't need control point capacity. Hera torpedoes. I think I would want missiles that are fast. That would be ideal. The faster the missiles I fire at the enemy, the better. Strange incidents are being reported off the shores of Dar es Salaam. Eerie glow seen shimmering on the horizon at night. So we can deploy the Coast Guard. Okay, so this has a really, really good chance of spawning a megafauna. Okay, no, we managed to actually get the good... We got the good roll outcome. That's good. So no megafauna will spawn. Happy days, happy days, happy days.
Unable to increase security.
Unfortunately, Oklo is under bombardment. That's life. The aliens, They have a certain bit of evil in them. To be fair, I'm pretty sure they consider me to be a giga threat to their plans here. And so they should, because that is my entire plan, is to disrupt their plans. Let's have a look here. We've got Artemis torpedoes. So torpedoes do explosive damage. What's their speed? That's the real question. 2.5 Gs on the Hera torpedo on these. Because I think the thing that matters is like how fast do alien fleets move? Like let's just pick a random alien ship like Victor 123 here, or 129 here. We click on him. His combat acceleration is 2.1 Gs, so I think that would give him a good chance of avoiding our missiles. So I want anything above like maybe 2 Gs? I don't know. See, I don't know. I'm going to go for Anaconda missiles because I think maybe if I can fire enough Anaconda missiles at my enemies, I'll be able to like overwhelm their point defense. So our shipyards around Mercury just came online. Unfortunately, we don't have the resources to actually build ships. We're running into a resource shortage now. We don't have the water excess. I'm thinking of designing maybe like an interdictor, like a really, really light gunship that would be just crammed with missiles. And then we could maybe obliterate like weak alien fleets. I don't know. It's hard to know. See, there's so much I don't know. And the game really captures that feeling of I don't know what's going to work against the aliens. Right, so we have Anaconda missile bays completed. Let's immediately, okay, great. We're building bases on Luna, hopefully to produce money. So much random crap that I need to research. So if we take a look at the Huygens class escort and we go in here to upgrade it and we check out its possible weapons. Right now we're using the crate missile bays, which do quite a lot of damage, but their missiles are really, really slow. So I'm thinking we could switch to the Anaconda missiles and we could also upgrade the drive. Now your job is a defensive craft, so we want like the most thrust possible. So as insane as it might sound, like maybe we go to like an older engine so that you have insane combat acceleration, but not a whole lot of Delta V because you're a fighter. You're here to defend the station. You're not out there looking for battle. So the Huygens Mark II has almost no Delta V, but that doesn't. Oh wait, it actually has way less it has way more acceleration. So it's a defensive ship designed to protect stations. So can I come in here? I'll cancel. I'd like to refit you. No, I want to make new ships. So in the Michelangelo station above Mars, let me just loop into Mars. I want to make some Huygens Mark II class escorts, which have 19 combat power. Not a huge amount, but they'll be built relatively quickly. So I'll get 2 more of those on the way. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Shit. There's an alien spaceship above Callisto. I don't know if they've declared total war on me, but it feels like it. So the settlement on Callisto was destroyed. That's fair enough. Hopefully they don't bombard again. It's just one base they took out. Okay. I can live with them taking a base on Callisto. It seems like they're not like... They haven't declared all-out war on us yet. They're just kind of like suppressing us a little bit. But yeah, alien activity has stepped up to a considerable degree. And I really don't know if I'm effectively doing what I need to be doing to stop them. I think I need to destroy an alien ship. I think that's got to be part of my plans. I'm going to call that the end of this episode, though. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.